has been programmed, right? John Doe. Jane Doe has been programmed by a program that's been given to them, specifically the Negroes in North America, right, have been given a program along with the keys that send out the signal through the language, right, into the texts or books that are also a part of the programming, right? So we're talking about the 66 books of the King James Version, okay? The King James Version. We're also talking about, after that indoctrination, another indoctrination came along to the Negroes in the form of the 114 chapters or books of what we call El Quran, right? So we're talking about an incomplete person. We're talking about a filter that cuts off, right, a well-rounded education, right, and leaves them with the bottom half of the circle in an edited dictation, not an education, but an edited dictator dictating, driving your thoughts, driving your body at will, right? The will of I am. William, will I am, the will of the driver, right, is enforced upon Jane Doe and John Doe because they are the vehicle that the dictation is driving. So we're talking about supreme wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge found by being fooled. I'm going to say that again. A wise man didn't become born with wisdom. He had to play the role of a fool and figure out that which hoodwinked him, that which bamboozled him, right? We're talking about the English program. Whether we were reading a Hebrewic text or whether we were reading an Arabic text, it was given to us in the form of the English language, right? And that filter, remember we're talking about the filter, because the people who tricked us, the people who indoctrinated us through their edited dictation / non-education, because an educated man cannot be fooled, right? In time, the things I must experience, and that experience of those things gave me a victory over my ignorance if I paid attention. So if we look, listen, and observe and respect, and then measure that observation twice, right, we can get above this trick knowledge and complete our being, because we're not a complete being. We are a filter, right? And that filter, right, is not allowing, right, the absolute knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to pour through, because we have been programmed with a glass ceiling, right? There's an imaginary glass ceiling here, right, that we won't rise above, right? There's more to the circle, right? Now, I want to talk about that first 7 years again, right? We talked about those first 7 years of the programming, right? And that programming was not to give us a complete overview, a complete understanding of the English language, because if that was the case, we would not be under or in or able to spell. A spell is a bewitchment, right? We were taught to write through a ritualistic programming of the first 7 years. Ritual, rites, bewitched, right? Programming, spells. A spell was cast on us by those who had supreme wisdom over us because they were the architects of the program. So if you can get back control of the driver's seat and control of the steering of your thoughts, remember the key is the first 7 years. Well, the first 7 years of your life, you did not have an alpha state of mind. You did not have a beta state of mind. You were in that theta state, the recording state, where everything is being recorded and you navigate between those things and you imitate the people around you, regardless if they're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. For those first 7 years, you're being shaped. You're being conditioned, right? To live out a program by those who had supreme knowledge, supreme wisdom, and ability to put you in a supreme understanding. Understanding. You're under, or your ability to understand what's happening to you is lacking, sort of like being underpaid, sort of like being underpaid, right? To the point that you realize that you were not given what you were supposed to be given. And now that you're an older person, you realize that something is missing. You realize that all of your life, you felt this. Something ain't right. Something is missing. Somebody has tricked me, right? Because the overwhelming self-criticism that was produced by convincing you with these 66 books that you were guilty of something since birth, you realize that you shouldn't be criticizing yourself like that. And so something is wrong, but you couldn't put your hand on it. You had no idea that it was this actual program right here, right? And on my next video, we're going to deal with this half circle more deeply, right? We're going to look at the way in which these letters are arranged on this board, right? We have the first 19 letters separated from the last 7 letters.